Yo, good evening. What's good? We're back. Gonna have a chill one. Gonna have some chill. I'm gonna do some experiments, and you'll see. You'll see what I'm trying to do as it comes together. But I'm gonna start off with some. You won't know what's going on. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. Gonna be very very fun. Yeah. Once again, it feels like it's been ages since I've been streaming, but it's only been 6 days or something, so yeah. Anyway, we will get into it. First up, old paintings that slap. You know how it is. I'm going to show you an old painting that slaps. We've had this artist on here before, but this is a different painting by them. So today's old painting that slaps is this one. Like I said, we've had this artist on here before. This is Adolf Jeremy Herschel, and I'm going to assume you pronounce it like this: Ahasuerus at the end of the world. But yeah, it's really cool. Feels very modern, you know. Feels almost like a comic book cover in a way. I just like the sort of the set piece of it. Yeah, the characters, drapery, everything, really nice. Certified old painting that slaps for sure. Yeah, like I said, it feels like insanely modern, to be honest. Doesn't feel like it's of the time that it's from. So yeah, really into it. Anyway, that's today's old painting that slaps. Yukino, what's up? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. I do have a YouTube chat open as well, by the way, guys, so I can see both. Love the contrast on this. Yeah, it's sick. It's really nice. I really like this this old character as well. It's this really good gesture and stuff. But yeah, just I always looked at this one and thought, man, this feels like a modern illustration. So how am I doing? Yeah, I'm good. Good, thank you. Good. I'm just hoping I don't get paralyzing backache before the end of the stream. Are we good? Alright, so I'm going to get into what I'm going to do today. It's a little bit different than what I've been up to. You know, there's been lots of 3D and that kind of stuff. Maybe there's a bit of 3D later, but for now, we're going to do three kind of quick kind of little paintings, and then you're going to see what's going to go on with those later. But there's a bit of some cool stuff, some cool experiments, so we're going to work on those. So I'll show you. I've got 3 quick renders. Got this one, I have this one, and I have this one. And I'm basically going to add kind of a Batman to each one. These are just kind of some ref images. But there's basically going to be a kind of a Batman in each one, or maybe several. And yeah, we'll go from there. Like I said, I'm not going to reveal what I'm going to do with them just yet. We're just going to do them. So there you go. But yeah, how are you? You good? Yo, Jeff, what's up? It's always good when Jeff's in the house. Why is the camera view so claustrophobic? You will see. You'll see. There is method to the madness. Oh, you mean my camera view? I changed the where my camera is to put it a bit lower, because when I'm like working and my head's down like this, then you just get like an insane view of the top of my head. I just thought it looked kind of silly, so I changed it. Looks like the walls are coming closer. They're not. It's just like it's still over here somewhere, and this one's way back. I think it's just like the phone makes it look like I'm in a tiny box. But it's not really. Yeah, it's not like really close though. I think you're just mental. There's just something wrong with you. Something wrong with you, Jeff. So, yes, experiments. Make Batman a bit more scary than he actually is. But yeah, it's gonna be a chill one today. Nothing crazy going on. Yeah, so right now I'm testing something out for potentially something a lot bigger. So I'm just doing some quicker experiments to test something, and then off the back of that maybe inform something else. But I didn't have like an awful lot of time to prepare anything for stream today, so you're being taken along for the experiments ride. So yeah, these will just be like quicker kind of thumbnail style paintings. I always like the wild ride art streams. Reminds you that there is something other than the polished end results. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, this is going to be fun. And like, yeah, we'll keep, although I'm sort of using Batman as kind of the inspiration here, we don't have to stick super close to Batman. Got some big ass horns on him. Proper bat. A more painterly Batman. Batman, Batman. Medieval fantasy Batman, yeah. Or just like straight up beast Batman. He's a goddamn beast. Do you know what I mean? Like an actual monster. Half bat, half man. He's a goddamn beast. Self-portrait. Yeah, mate. You know it. You know it. What was the Marvel universe where they were all like the truest forms of themselves? Batman was really cool, boxy and chunky. I don't know. Is Batman's DC though, right? Batman is not a Marvel. And yeah, who knows? To be honest, there's a million universes for everything. The demon. Yeah, there was kind of like that Animatrix, but for Batman, where they did like all the animated shorts, and there was one, and they're all centered around like a group of like Gotham street kids that are telling each other stories about when they encountered Batman, and everyone's accounts of like what Batman's like, are different because they're kids and they're like embellishing a story. So not only are they in different animation styles, different studios rather, but they're also Batman's like design and stuff is different, and in one of them he's literally like a sort of a bat beast kind of thing, and the kids are talking about it. One kid's like telling the story of it. It's pretty good. Yeah, that animation was so good. Yeah, I agree. It was sick. W. Matty. What is this character? This is the Batman. Off-brand Batman. But bot man. Yeah. Batman. Yeah, he's kind of like more Nosferatu. Yeah, I mean, right now I'm doing like three kind of little thumbnail paintings that we're going to use for something a bit later in the stream. So you'll see a little bit later what those are for. And yeah, I too like to start with shapes sometimes. I think it's sometimes a bit easier to get what I'm after quicker, you know? Batman. Dark and pushed. Yeah, he's blocky demon Batman. Okay, so almost there with what we need for shot 1. This is a little wonky, but actually, you know what would be quite cool? Yeah, no. All right. So we'll call that shot 1. Shot 2. Holy perspective. Yeah. Holy perspective, Batman. What do we think? What do we think? Perspective Batman. Yeah. Batman's very maths orientated. Don't know if you knew that. It's all about the maths. Skinny Batman. Bourbon. Yeah, he's quite fun to draw when you don't actually have to draw him. You just do a bat shape. Job's a good one. Yo, Jonas, what's up, dude? What is this music, man? Shut up. Okay. It's kind of funny with his legs hanging down, but I like it. It's Batman if you've never seen him before. stuff from my eyes. Batman. I have no idea if that looks good or not. Part of me's like, yeah, sick. Okay, what time are we on? 42. Alright, we good. Can you tell what it is yet? Batman. Oh my god, I always turn the rulers on by accident. Alright, that should be enough. So we got Batman 1. Absolute dark stalker Batman. Demon Batman. Yes, we got Demon Batman. And we have, I don't know what you're going to call this one. Skinny sky glider Batman. And then, oh, wrong. We'll go here. And we'll have a couple of others. These ones are going to be kind of a small flock, I guess. Bat flock. kind of stealth bombers, you know. Pretty sick angle there. Swooping in. Could also be Batman with a swarm of smaller bats behind him. Yeah, true that. True that. That'd be cool. Batman. I'd say it's actually really relaxing just doing like swooping, kind of sharp bat shapes. That's actually really chilled me out. In the zone, just doing bat shapes. Yeah, sorry, I'm like being 0% entertaining today, but I got nothing to say. Okay. We're almost at experiment phase 2. Hello, it's a Batman. Hello. Okay. So we have our three shots, right? This guy, this guy, these guys. So I'm gonna put you guys on my face for a sec. I'm gonna save all these out. And then we'll continue with the experiment part 2. And then you'll start to see where I'm going with this. Because I know at the moment you might be like, what the hell is going on? He's painting bat silhouettes in mostly silence. There's method in the madness. Okay, they're all saved. Now, give me the briefest of seconds. I'm just going to hop to the bathroom and I'll come back and we will continue. All right, give me a sec. Okay, thanks. Much appreciated. So, let me add a couple of things and then I'll be ready to show you guys what's going on next. Almost there. You can tell by the confusion on my face. So we've got towards light, empire, and one more. Okie dokie. So, here we are. Now we are in Blender. What are we doing in Blender? Well, let me show you. Do some crazy stuff. So you might recognize this is the city scene that we were just looking at in Photoshop, but crops of said thing. All right. So yeah, didn't want to do that. Et voila. All right, so the next piece of the puzzle. Let's go towards light. And then we'll go get that guy. We'll do the same again. So this one's flipped for some reason. Is it? Yeah, it is. It's flipped. Why has that flipped it? I don't understand that. Derp. Okay. Ignore me. Don't watch that. Don't watch that, kiddies. Boom. Okay. Okay, we're almost there. Almost there. Can you tell what's going on? You're probably like, what the fuck? Alex has finally lost it. Actually, I'll have to mess around with that. But I think there's a way to do this a little better than I'm doing it. But as seen as I'm pretty much a Blender noob. Actually, we can move that a little bit. It's not going to matter too much. What the hell? I have no clue. You actually do know. Give me that shit. Okay. All right, brilliant. So this might slow the stream down for a sec. We'll see. What the hell? All right then. We have a real Batman style mystery on our hands. Okay, that should do actually. So I'm just going to put you on my wonderful face again while I save this out. Mystery. Okay, so let me just save this quick. And then we'll open up Photoshop. Actually, yeah. Trust me, guys, I've not completely lost it. Okay. Not completely lost it yet. Okay, are you ready? So, here we are. Dun, 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 dun. You can see what I was getting at. So, we now have a 3D painting, or at least the process by which one can be done. A lot easier than it ever has been before. And yeah, this is it in Pano Painter. But obviously you can view it in other things as well in Photoshop 3D. Yeah, dude, it worked. It worked. So, yeah, this is something I've been trying to work out properly how to do for the past week or so. And this is like a bit more of a robust test of that. I've been doing some other tests, but nothing as kind of sort of sorted as this. But yeah, I think the process definitely works, and yeah, it's so much easier painting it in Photoshop with the renders and then placing them back in like that. Yeah, it seems to be a good thing. So the other cool thing is, which I'm going to go on to do now for the next little bit. So we'll go back over to Photoshop. Honestly, very exciting for me. To finally have something like this. A process by which to do it, which is actually pretty easy in comparison. So if we go back to Photoshop. I have the painting here. Obviously, all the dots is because I only rendered it for a few seconds, right? Cycles need some time to go through and get a decent render out. But for me, for the purposes of testing this out on stream, this worked out really well. It has other stuff that we can add to this. As well, actually. Yes. Yeah, there's other stuff we can add to this as well. Let me just bring in another image real quick. Okay. All right, perfect. Yeah, so you still have the ability to like paint over the image as is like this as well, but obviously you can see things get pretty warped pretty quick because it wraps in 3D, you know. But yeah, there's still a lot that you can do on this, and then take it back into Pano Painter to look at even more. Which is pretty exciting. And yeah, I don't know if you've seen any 3D images before, but the process by which to make them has been always fairly tedious, because you have to either use Photoshop 360, which is like old and unsupported, very clunky, low res, or you'd have to use something like Pano Painter and do everything in there, and it's not very nice to paint in, if I'm honest. So the fact that you can actually just take these renders and then paint cards and go back in, really cool. Not too bad, eh, Richard? Simpler than appeared, I think. Initially appeared, rather. The concept works. I just need to now implement it on a cool image. Exciting. Yeah, dude. We nailed it. We've got it. we've got it, honestly. So I'm just going to noodle on this for a little bit, muck around on this. But yeah, I need to decide like what kind of image to make, really. That's kind of the hard bit right now. I'm like, what should I do? Yeah, try adding some clouds. Yeah, I'll do that. The clouds as well is something you could do in Blender, because you could add like an HDRI of clouds in Blender, and it would already look fine. It wouldn't be like screwed up. But yeah, we'll try doing it flat, because you know this is going to wrap, so there's the center, like I think the top edge of this picture is going to become a point, if you know what I mean. Like the very top edge middle and the very bottom edge middle are going to become a single point. So, you know, like this and all of this are going to and like become a point on the top of the image. And so all the, if you paint like clouds on here in a certain way, they're going to sort of converge into that, and you're going to get kind of like a butthole in the sky. You'd have, you know, like the bottom here is like super stretched out, and it's going like, because all of that is going to converge back and just be a point. So yeah, it'd be super weird, but we can just paint some on and see what happens. I think what I would do though is probably do an HDRI clouds in Blender, and then paint over them in Photoshop, like if I wanted them to be more stylized and so on. But yeah, we can do these, and then we'll open it up in Pano Painter and see what the hell I've done. Let's see, actually. If there was like a gradient on the top edge like this, then it would be like a sort of a zenith, and then it could get lighter as it goes out from that, and that might not look too strange actually. Who knows? What other things should I test? I honestly thought people would be a bit more excited. I'm excited. Yeah, good. Nice. Duplicate layer. Whoa. Or delete layer. I have no idea where this lightning's going to come from when it's unfolded. Maybe a bat signal. Yeah, let's try that as well. I'm only ever doing 360 paintings from now on. That's it. The Batman. Um. Help me, Batman. It's just coming from the dark down there somewhere. And then way out here. Way out in the dark. Kaiju Batman. Actually, not there. He's going to be monstrous T-pose Batman, but I'm going to have very small Batman with a crazy spawn cape. Yeah. Yeah. Lightning everywhere. That's gonna be, and that's gonna end up being my favorite one. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued how this is gonna look. Should we have a look? Should we have a look? Let's see it. All right. Give me a sec. Okay, let's save this out. And then we'll have a look at it in 360. Exciting stuff. I'm excited. Okay, yeah, this is sick. Okay, hang on. Let's make it look at nothing in particular. All right, you ready? We'll have a little pan around. Let's get rid of that for a sec. So we have the Beast Batman up here. We have the sky butthole, but we could always honestly like leverage that into like a storm. I think we could sort of render it out with a grid, and then we could use that to help us like figure out how to paint that. But that'd be cool. Anyway, there's Beast Batman. Then we have Kaiju Batman just out there in the mist, looking pretty ominous with his two pinprick eyes. And then we come around here, we got the lightning here, and we've got Spawn Cape Batman up there getting hit by the lightning. And then then we've got these guys swooping down, and then this is really cool. I need to like make it come from like over here, because it's currently the light's bending up to the building. But yeah, I mean, that does look pretty sick. You just need to get the light direction right so that it's coming from like over here so it doesn't bend. But yeah, I mean, and we can zoom out loads more, make it really crazy. Kaiju Batman right there, like, ah! He's like, no, there's, yeah, I should probably look up like what all the Batmans are from the Batman universes instead of just making up my own Batman. But yeah, man, proof of concept, I think, proved. I think there's plenty to choose from. Yeah, what's the bet? How many Batmans do you think there are? Let's have a quick look. How many comic Batmen are there? No. There are thousands of no, I don't want thousands of individual comics. I want how many Batmans are there in the DC multiverse? There is functionally infinite number of Batman. Okay, that doesn't help. Okay, let's have a look on Reddit. How many Batman from the main timelines are there? Oh man, people is... Come on. Okay, right, everyone's just a nerd. No one can give me a straight answer on that. Nerd. Version or alternative versions. Yeah, I just mean, you know, like in Spider-Man, you've got all those different Spider-Men from the multiverse of Spider-Man. Like, what's the same for Batman? How many Batmans does it take to save Gotham from Sky Butthole? Yeah, I don't know. Oh man, I'm stoked on this. Like, not this image in particular, but just the fact that this works. 45. Damn. So we got enough to choose from. Okay, so how long have we got? 25 minutes. Let's see if we can make Sky Butthole better. Yeah, 45 Batman. Yeah. I know just the classic one, the futuristic one, and the monster version, but I'm not expert of that. Anyway, it's really cool. Thank you. Yeah, I only know a few as well. I'm not like a huge fan of like any particular comic characters. I mean, I think Spider-Man's really cool, but like I've never really bought comics or anything. What's this? All the Batmans. Bat Zarro. He's got guns. Red Sun Batman. He can think ahead. is that is power. He can just think ahead. That's really funny. He's just got the power of thinking ahead. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what this image really needs as well is like all the buildings really being Gothamed up somewhat, because they're just like a random scene right now. They're not particularly like gothy, but it's whatever. It's whatever. Could goth them up a bit. Sky butthole. Was it a function of Photoshop? So you can view 360 images in Photoshop if you open them through this like 3D tab at the top. But you have to be on an old version of Photoshop. I think you maybe have to go back. I know I can do it in this version, which is 2021. I'm not sure that you can do it on anything newer than that. But yeah, so otherwise the program that I was using just here to do that is called Pano Painter, and Pano Painter is a 360 drawing program like this, right? And you can draw in it. But if you load in a 360 image, it will preview like this, so that you can look at images like this in here. Yeah. Pretty cool, right? There is a browser version of Pano Painter as well. FYI. Photoshop kind of discontinued the development of the 3D thing, so that's why it's on the older version, and it's not the best. So yeah, I use Pano Painter to look at those, and like, to be honest, I would sketch out something like this in Pano Painter to just get an idea of like where the shots were. That's basically what I did to figure out like what I wanted to do on stream. Is like I just brought a city render in like this, and I was like, oh, okay, scribbled on some things, and was like, okay, I was going to do a Batman up there. I'll do this guy coming around the building because that's kind of cool. And then I was like, oh, I'll look down and I'll do stuff here. Ideally, actually, I wanted these guys like a bit more here, and them like swooping down, you know, like down and down like that. But I mean, do it again at some point. But yeah, I really wanted to test all this stuff out, because I've done some smaller tests to see if this would work, and those did, but I hadn't done anything that was like a little bit more along the lines of test run the process to do a proper painting. Yeah, and this worked out really well. But yeah, I just need to decide what to do. I mean, should I do like a big, part of me, a big like Batman multiverse, all the Batman? Should I do something that's like completely my own? I'm not really sure. Should I do something a bit silly like this already is? Kaiju Batman and so on. I just don't know. But I should probably decide quick. And do some research. Yeah, intrigued to see how the clouds go. Flat images for 360 view. Well, yeah, it's not so bad. It's not so bad, but it is going to get hella confusing. Like the top edge and the bottom edge are like a point. So like this whole top edge is going to become a singular point when it all wraps together, because it's going to go like the middle portion of the image is good. It's, if you imagine it sort of turns outwards like on itself. It's pretty confusing, I guess. Luckily though, you know, the buildings here are like vertical bits, right? So they're not, then it's not too difficult. You can at least see where everything is, if that makes sense. Not explaining that very well, but whatever. Yeah, the Pano Painter is really cool. Little program. It's nice to sketch in. It's nice because you can sort of draw and zoom in and out a little bit. It's a bit more dynamic in that way than like just sketching flat in Photoshop. You tend to come up with better compositions just by virtue of the fact that there's a little bit of this kind of distortion that goes on, you know. So I'll like draw something in it and then turn the camera view a bit and I get a bit more sort of distortion to it, more than I would sort of initially draw if I was drawing it flat. And it does tend to really work quite nicely. Oh, do you know what I'm going to do? Let's grab some city lights. another reason why you do city at night. And you can do this. Oh yeah, where was this then? This maybe won't bend all the way around like it did before. All right, so let's take that, put it here, save, camera, Pano Painter, import, Alright, let's have a look. I'm going to flashbang you with Sky Butthole. But yeah, that. Yeah, so this we'd have to work out a shape for, like where it's coming from. I wouldn't necessarily stick it there. I think what we could do, which would be quite cool, is like obviously plan out where a lot of this stuff goes in the image, right? So that there's like another. Let's make a layer. Yeah, we have this coming up on the building, and then like in here. Have another kind of Batman that cuts over it in some way, maybe even like one closer that's getting lit by it and casting a shadow or something. Do something cool with it. And you could have like you'd have like street lights and stuff down here. So we could shine some lights up on these buildings a bit more, so you'd see more of them. And you could have tiny little Batmobile down there. But that is kind of cool. Could use this kind of grid to see where it bends. Yes, yeah, exactly. So look, equirectangular grid. Yeah, nice. Let's I think I might be able to render something out like this from Blender. Yeah, so like basically line that up in some way. Let's go Pano Painter again. Yeah, we'll figure it out. What I could always do as well in Blender is actually, instead of painting this light on the building, actually just shine a spotlight on the building in Blender, and that will already be it won't bend because it will be in a real scene, if that makes sense. So anything that's like rendered out in the scene normally like that won't be subject to me messing it up in the bend. So what I would actually do is, yeah, just shine this spotlight on the building and just render it with the spotlight in there already. But yeah, cool. I don't know. I need to do some research. I mean, the bare bones of the idea are here. It's just what to do with it. Like, do I do all Batmans? Like, do I just like make a cool image up that's got loads of Batman in it for some reason? Do I do like all flying, you know, all the kind of flying superheroes that there are? I could do like Batman, Superman, Spawn, like Silver Surfer. I don't know, just like all of the flying ones that I couldn't think of. I don't know. I actually don't know what to do. Yeah, I downloaded a model. Yeah. A free model that came with textures. I didn't model them. I mean, the models would be simple enough, but the problem would be textures. And so, yeah, I downloaded a free one that's already textured. Because that would be, pardon me, that would be a ton of work. And that's kind of the side of it that I don't really want to do. You do Batman riding a Superman. Yeah. Anyway, it's nice just like finding compositions for like single paintings, you know, like this kind of thing in and of itself is just like a quite nice painting. Like this one is just would be quite cool on its own. Do you know what I mean? You know, even this I kind of like. It's just very moody, like. And this one is kind of like the Mothman. You know, very ominous. Up there. And then, again, that's just pretty scary in and of itself. You can zoom way out, make this all really fucked up. But he's there. Just give me a bit of vertigo. All right then. Well, I've got to sign off for the evening because I got to eat. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. Much appreciated. Thanks for sticking around for my little experiment. I know it wasn't like the most exciting stream. I wasn't able to be that entertaining. But I needed to experiment and try this out. And now that we know what's possible and so on, it's now just a case of designing the image properly and going from there, really figuring it out. But yeah, super fun. I'm excited, looking forward to it. So yeah, take care everyone, and have a nice evening.